Hi, thank you for clicking on the video. As you can see, we're jumping back into the American Dad universe today. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit the notifications button so that you know exactly when new videos is up and ready for viewing. As per usual, if you don't like spoilers, you've never seen American Dad before, you should jump over here, go watch it, and then come back. If you don't care, then we move on. Today, I want to talk about Debbie. Now, Debbie was one of Steve's like reoccurring girlfriends. Like, she was his girlfriend over I think at least 2 seasons, and like reoccurring, right? How they met was he was running from some bullies and happened to stumble upon her little hiding spot, and that's how they met. My issue is Debbie was not worthy of Steve. Okay? She consistently had issues with what he did or how he was. Okay. Let me start off. Because she really get on my fucking nerves. Let me start off with this. So in one particular episode, Steve tries to help her, I think it is, or whatever is going on. She gets like bullied or whatever. So Steve was like, oh, I'm gonna teach these bullies a lesson, and he does all of this messed up stuff in revenge for her, right? And in the midst of that, they find out it was Steve, so they start chasing him and his friends. Now, she stopped talking to him because she didn't want revenge. Like, she couldn't believe he would go out of his way to do that when he loves you. Like, that was his whole thing. She got mad at him because he cared about her and cares about her feelings. Now, did you want to do anything? No. And you didn't. You didn't have to do anything. Steve did it because he cared about you and he didn't like how they treated you. They lied on her. They made false like pictures or something like that with her and stuff like that. So he was like, well, I'm going to get back at him. Now, okay, you mad at him. But when you decide to not be mad at him, you was finna only help him, right? Like, he's running off with his friends. His friends is getting chased with the whole school is chasing them. And you like, okay, Steve, come on this way. I'll help you get out. His friends need help too. And this is my thing, because, okay, they're not your friends. But if you care about him the way he care about you, you should just automatically be like, all right, all y'all, come on, let's go. It shouldn't have had to be Steve being like, okay, well, if you ain't gonna help them, then I'm gonna just stay here and get my ass beat with them. That's when she was like, okay, fine, I'll help all 4 of y'all. Okay. Then this freaking heifer. So this particular episode, Steve was acting a little immature, but y'all, you have to remember, they're like 14, they're 13 and 14 years old. Like, they're still kids. They're barely in the teen years, you know. And Steve is very young-minded, especially considering like how Francine chooses to go about dealing with the boy. So, you know, he's very young-minded in a lot of areas, and he still play with toys, y'all. So, like, I don't know why she, you know, was upset with him for acting like who he is. Like, you know who he is. So what's the problem, right? But yeah, he was acting a little childish. This one particular guy comes up, that little boy, he get on my nerves. He on the phone with his grandmother and gets off talking about, so I call my grandmother every day, not because I have to, because I want to. Like, boy, shut up and sit down. Nobody cares. And she like, this boy, he flirts with her in front of Steve. And Steve was, you know, like, what the heck? But this what really is the issue. She's checking him out as well in front of Steve and flirting back with him in front of Steve. You have a whole boyfriend. So, like, what are we doing? Then proceeds to break up with Steve and says, you're too immature for me. And goes to this boy's bar mitzvah to get with him. Like, he wanted to get with her. Okay. Like, girl, get your ass on. Like, and Steve goes there and again has to plot revenge, this time for his girl getting stolen by him. But the issue is, like, she shouldn't have done that shit to begin with. I think ultimately they do end up breaking up in general, like, for good in that episode, because, you know, it comes out that Steve is the one who plotted against the boys' bar mitzvah. And he had to tell the truth, or else they wasn't gonna let Snot have his bar mitzvah. And she's like, oh, I can't believe you would do that. You're so immature. I have to break up. Like, girl, you didn't really want to be with Steve. Like, just be freaking honest. You were an asshole. Even when, you know, so when he first introduces the family, Stan had a whole problem with her being a bigger girl. Like, that's not the problem. You know, they get over that. It's the episode when she really just, like, okay with acting like she's replacing Steve's mom. Like, first and foremost, it's his mom, so you like, he stayed with his parents. He's still a kid. He stays with his parents. You're not replacing nobody. But the fact that you sitting up there acting like, oh, this is my boy now. Like, it was the way she was acting so smug when she was around Francine. It was so weird. Like, why are you even entertaining this? And you call Steve childish and you doing shit like that, you know? But I feel like she never really liked Steve, you know, not the way that Steve liked her. She always found an issue with Steve. She always found a way to either break up with him or say that he was doing something wrong. And while Steve did go about things in the wrong way with certain situations, he liked that girl and he was just doing them because he liked that girl, and it was just that simple. To sit up here and expect him to start acting like he grown as hell. Girl, you're only 13, 14 years old too, so what is you talking about? Like, y'all kids act like it. Like, for all that, neither of y'all should be trying to be in a relationship. That's all I have to say in this video. I hope you enjoy. Again, if you do, go ahead and like the video. Yeah, until next time. Bye.